Hansel and Gretel by David Lisette and Sue. Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Hansel and his little sister Gretel. They lived deep in the woods with their father and new stepmother. Their stepmother had charmed and manipulated their father into marriage because she wanted to live in a big house with him. Their stepmother constantly told their father of the terrible things that the children had done and how her belongings kept going missing. One day, she told their father that it was time the children learned a lesson and should be sent off into the woods and lost, so that they can see how good they have it at home and would learn to behave. She told them she would go find them the next day and bring them back home safely. But in reality, she wanted them lost forever so she could have the house all to herself. The father did as she wished and took them into the woods, but left them near a home on the far edge of the woods so that they would be safe for the night. On his way home, he was stopped by a sheriff and was told a beautiful woman had told him that there was a crazy man in the woods that had taken her children. Since the father and the two children lived so deep into the woods, they never went into town, so no one really knew what they looked like. So the sheriff arrested him and took him to jail. Meanwhile, the stepmother went on to live her life in the big house in the woods, enjoying her time alone as she has always longed for. The children spent a few days in the house at the end of the woods. A sweet lady lived there. The house looked like a gingerbread house that they had once made for Christmas with their mother many years ago. It turned out that the house was their grandmother's, and they stayed for a few days to catch up. Finally, the children started missing their father and decided it was time to head back home. When they got home, they could tell that things were different, so they stayed in hiding while looking for their father. However, they couldn't find him anywhere and realized he was missing, and that their stepmother did not care at all. So they set off for the village to find him. Upon entering the village, they asked the townspeople if they had seen their father. The only new person in town was a man whom the sheriff had arrested for stealing the young mother's children. They decided they better check to see if it was their father. They found their father in jail and were able to tell the real side of the story to the sheriff, and he was let go. The children told their father how the mother was acting back home and didn't miss them, and they realized that was her plan all along. So they took the sheriff with them and had her arrested and taken away. Her disregard for right or wrong, persistent lying, deceit, and lack of empathy for others, manipulation, and arrogance got her a ticket to the big house in town, the mental hospital. The end. Hansel and Gretel by David Lisette and Sue. Once upon a time, there lived a boy named Hansel and his little sister Gretel. They lived deep in the woods with their father and new stepmother. Their stepmother had charmed and manipulated their father into marriage because she wanted to live in a big house with him. Their stepmother constantly told their father of the terrible things that the children had done and how her belongings kept going missing.